ADHD and breakups. Two ingredients that when you put them together can cause absolute carnage inside your head. Take it from me, who's got ADHD and has gone through breakups. I know just how difficult it is to cope once you and your ex are split up. So today, I want to talk about it. So if you've got ADHD and you've recently gone through a breakup, then this video is for you. One of the biggest effects ADHD has on you after a breakup is the obsession. It's those constant ruminating, obsessive thoughts that you just can't get out of your head. I actually remember one time after one of my breakups, I was round at a family member's house, trying to get some help, trying to get some advice. And I remember sitting there and actually hitting my head with my hand going, I just want it out of my head. And I didn't realise it at the time, but that was me ADHD. That was me ADHD going, I'm going to flood your head with images, thoughts, and memories of your ex. My ADHD was hyper-focused on those thoughts. And I learned afterwards it's called ADHD flooding. And ADHD flooding is quite common after a breakup, and your ex becomes the focus of it. And if you've got ADHD and you've gone through a breakup, I think you possibly will be experiencing the same thing, because it's torture. It's hell, because it feels like you lose a sense of control. You can't get a control of your thoughts. You want to think about other things. You don't want to be stuck thinking about your ex all day, but you can't help it. It's just there. And this was incredibly difficult for me. And it really stopped me from moving on. It really stopped me from healing and recovering, because I couldn't think about anything else. I was hyper-focused. ADHD flooding is probably the biggest symptom that you might feel after a breakup. And other people might not understand that, right? People who've not got ADHD just think, you just kind of move on. Forget about them and move on. Yeah, it's great if you can control that. But you can't control it, that's the whole point. So what do? Well, the first thing to do is to remind yourself that it's not going to last forever. It feels like it does in the moment. It feels like these constant thoughts are never going to go away. But what happens is they are extremely intense while they last, but they don't actually last. They do wear off. And I've always found that sometimes it can be a couple of days if I'm lucky, but a lot of the time it can take a couple of weeks. But within a couple of weeks, those thoughts get less and less, till eventually they're switched off. So if you've got that ADHD flooding right now after a breakup and you are completely obsessed with your ex, take it from me, it is going to end up going away. It will reduce, it will get less severe, and you will get over it. So that's the first thing to say. So from a coping standpoint, I think the biggest thing that helps me when I'm in that position is not fighting it. Is just not fighting the thoughts, allowing them to come. And that's so hard because you desperately want them to stop. You desperately don't want to be sat there thinking these thoughts over and over again. But the more you fight them, the more power, the more energy you're giving to them. They get bigger and they get stronger. So what I do is I acknowledge them, go, okay, I'm having these obsessive thoughts, but I'm going to let them play out. I'm not going to fight them, not going to try and stop them, just going to let them happen. And what that does is ever so slowly just takes that little bit of edge off them, takes their energy away, takes the power away. And it's a really good coping strategy just to acknowledge them. Yeah, I've got these obsessive thoughts at the minute, but they'll go in time. You've got to keep telling yourself that. Don't give them the power and the energy by trying to fight them. It's easier said than done, but trust me, it works. So that's the first tip. Acknowledge. Stop your cap to them and say, yeah, you're taking over my mind for a bit, but I know you're not going to last. The other coping strategy that I found really helped was to write them down. So those obsessive thoughts you're having over and over, write them down, interpret them on paper in words. And I found that when you do that, when you get them out of your system and put them on paper, it can take the edge off them. Doesn't make them go away, but it helps to organise them in your mind, helps you to understand why you're having them, but it gives you a little bit of a release. And that release is so vital. And even just a 1% release from them obsessive thoughts can really help. So if that's you right now, take a moment, take a pen and paper, sit down, think about the obsessive thoughts you've been having and write them down. Put them in some sort of order on paper and keep doing it. Every time they happen, keep doing it. Pause, reflect and write them down. And I promise you, if you do that, it's a lot easier to cope with. So that was just a few tips on how to cope with ADHD flooding after a breakup. But to be honest, when it comes to ADHD and breakups, there's loads to talk about. So much I can talk about, especially from my experience and experiences of others. So I'm going to do a lot more videos on the subject because I think it might be really helpful. But I just wanted to make this short one, just to specifically talk about those obsessive thoughts after a breakup that are caused by ADHD flooding. But in further videos, I'll go into more detail. So if you've got ADHD and you're really suffering right now after a breakup, then make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss the upcoming videos on the subject. And if it has helped and you are suffering right now, put it in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling, what you're going through. But for now, nice one for watching, and I'll see you in the next. Laters.